Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is democracy on the Horn of Africa. And we're fortunate to have with us two persons to talk about some of the recent developments on the Horn of Africa, as well as the progress democracy has made on the Horn. And of course, our guest is from Tennessee State University as well as from Fisk University. And with us from Fisk University is Mr. TDemeke. And Mr. TDemeke will give us some information about his background, his education, and some of the things that were important in terms of bringing him to us today. And of course, Ms. JHilt1 from Tennessee State University, the Africana Studies Department from Tennessee State University, will give us similar kind of information, and then we'll talk about other things. And of course, let me welcome the two of you, Mr. TDemeke and Ms. JHilt1 to the show this morning.
Thank you.
Very good. Now, what we'd like to do today, Mr. TDemeke, as we explained to our audience this morning, is to have the two of you to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of bringing you here, and then we'll talk about other things. You can start first, and then she'll follow up.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is TDemeke. I have been here in the United States nearly 30 years. I'm a naturalized citizen. I went to upstate New York, Albany, New York, for my education, doing my undergraduate as well as graduate studies at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I have worked in the education institutions, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, and now at Fisk University. I'm currently here in Nashville, and I am the president of the Ethiopian Community Association.
Very good. Of course, later on, Mr. TDemeke will have you to explain to us what it means to be the president of this Ethiopian organization. And of course, Ms. JHilt1, let's talk about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of bringing you to Tennessee State University, as well as to bringing you here this morning.
Certainly. Thank you for inviting me. I'm originally from Shreveport, Louisiana, and I studied at Howard University for my undergraduate degree, and I did a specialized master's in African Studies at Oxford University. Since then, I have been doing independent research, primarily in Kenya and Southern Sudan. So I've been very privileged to join Tennessee State University as a very new faculty member in their Africana Studies Department.
Very good. Of course, let me welcome both of you again to the show this morning. And of course, Mr. TDemeke, we mentioned earlier that the name of this show is Democracy on the Horn of Africa. Now, we've done quite a number of shows dealing with West Africa, but we rarely had an opportunity to deal collectively with the countries that make up the Horn of Africa. Explain to our audience what this horn is all about.
Thank you. The Horn of Africa are nations in the eastern part of Africa, mainly. It includes Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, and mainly Somalia being the Horn. Of course, these countries, of course, neighbor, Kenya, Sudan, and so on. But mainly it is Ethiopia, Djibouti, Somalia, and Eritrea that compose the Horn of Africa.
And of course, when we talk about democracy in this particular area, how did we get to dealing with democracy here? Because for the most part, I think that Kenya has always been in the lead in terms of being one of the more democratic areas in this particular state. What about democracy? How did we get to talking about democracy on the Horn of Africa?
That's a very good question, but a very broad one. The Horn of Africa is, I can say, void of democracy. It's very unfortunate. So much has been tried. Let me take an instance of Ethiopia, for instance. Ethiopia used to be an imperial state. Right after the Emperor Haile Selassie, a military took over, which is a communistic government. And that was that government was replaced by another guerrilla movement from the north, and this government was not effective in bringing about democracy. In fact, if I mention in the year 2005, there was an election held in Ethiopia, a very promising one. But apparently that election was rigged, people were killed, arrested. Democracy was so elusive. It's very unfortunate. What you see today in Kenya has happened in Ethiopia in the year 2000, 2005, I might say.
Okay, and of course, let me interrupt you here, right here, by saying that we're getting ready for our first commercial break. But now, when we come back, what we'll do is to have you to give us some information in reference to Kenya there, and then we'll be able to compare the evolution of democracy, perhaps, in these particular areas. Because I think that Mr. Demeke, what you've already indicated is that democracy has had a struggle in Ethiopia, and certainly when we talk about Sudan and all of those other areas, we're really talking about a real problem. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Democracy on the Horn of Africa.